just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance.
All right, here we go. I'm loving the energy in the room. Welcome, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. Good morning. We are naming this masterclass the Luminous Lab Skincare Masterclass. It really is a session that is meant to empower you to get the best tips and the best advice to look after your skin. Today's masterclass is really about making sure that you feel good and look good in your skin and you approach your skincare with confidence. We'll be covering a range of topics like hyperpigmentation, the dark marks you see on your skin, how do you categorize them? And we'll also be talking about the luminous skincare routine. Essentially, we are really going to be diving into the world of skincare. But we come prepared because we have an expert in our midst, and that is board-certified dermatologist Dr. Khoza. Please give her a round of applause again. I am just going to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to our wonderful audience.
Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Nokubonga Khoza. I am a specialist dermatologist and with special interest, I would say, in pigmentation, in acne, and also in anti-aging.
Right, and there you have it. This is the expert that we have in our midst today, and we're going to get right into it, right? Because there's so many things that I'm sure we are here to learn today and to know. So the first thing, I'm going to come out guns blazing. I know your passion for skincare, for patient education. So I want to know, for the audience, who's an audience member here who's sitting and thinking, what is a basic skincare routine that I can follow? What recommendations would you give them?
So, I always keep it simple. I know we're at the Clicks Beauty Playground, so you're going to have loads of products thrown into you. But really, you need to simplify things for yourself. And I'm known as, the doctor that will save you money because literally, I always say about 4 steps in the morning and then 3 or 4 steps in the evening. So when I say steps, I also mean products per se. So the first one, like in the morning, you would wash. That's usually what people call face washes or cleansers. And then after that, we want you to moisturize. And then we also want you to actually apply sunscreen physically. So we want the sunscreen to actually be a separate product, not in your moisturizer, not in your makeup, and not in whatever else that you are using. The reason for that is because we want you to actually understand that skincare, the crux of skincare, the most important ingredient or product is actually photoprotection, because that's where the problem comes. So in the morning, you wash, you moisturize, and then you physically protect using a sunscreen. But in between your wash and your moisturizer, okay, this is a pigmentation session, you want to treat something. Now, there's always something to treat. Even when you have perfect skin, there's something that you can do in that step to make sure that your skin is always radiant and luminous and healthy. So your treatment steps will involve products like a serum. I'm sure most of you know what serums are. Serums are an in-between product between a cosmetic product and a treatment. So they come in as these concentrations with active ingredients to target whatever skin concern you may have. Let's say if you have dry skin, so your serum may be a hyaluronic acid serum. If you have acne, your serum may be like a niacinamide serum to calm things down, or something with salicylic acid. So you must know your ingredients. Salicylic acid to help with the acne. If you have pigmentation, our ingredient today is what we find in the Luminous630, which is thiamidol. So your serum is meant to target whatever you are sort of struggling with. So if you keep it simple, in the morning you wash, you treat, that's usually a serum, unless you're seeing a dermatologist and there's also like a treatment prescription in between. You moisturize and you apply sunscreen. And in the evening, it's the same concept. You wash, you treat, and you moisturize. So keep it simple, not a lot of products. If you are one of those people that just get excited about ingredients, make sure that your one product has a lot of ingredients in one so that you don't have like 10 steps in front of you.
Now, speaking about ingredients, you did mention thiamidol. Is this the key ingredient that should be on our lips? The key ingredients that we should really have in our skincare? Why is it so important?
I think we in South Africa, and the commonest issues that we see in South Africa because of the sun is pigmentation. And there's also a greater population of darker skin tones. So darker skin tones are more at risk of scarring, which we call post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or what people will call dark marks or brown spots. But also because of the amount or the intensity of UV light, we get burned. And black people do burn, by the way. We get burned, so we get photoaging or sunspots. And so the key things that we are looking for in our products are ingredients like thiamidol to target our skin concerns, the main ones being pigmentation, dark spots, and brown spots.
And there's so much to learn because today we're speaking about hyperpigmentation and pigmentation in general. And sometimes you find yourself, you have dark marks. Some around your eyes, some around your cheeks, but you don't know what to categorize them by and say what these dark marks actually mean. So when we look at ourselves and we are trying to self-diagnose, which we probably shouldn't do, but how do we categorize those dark marks?
So you have to think about yourself and think about what's happening. So history is very important when you're trying to figure out which category does your dark mark fall on. There's more than 20 causes of brown spots. There's a lot. Yes. And the problem is we all just classify them as hyperpigmentation, which is not the way. People will say to me, oh, I have pigmentation. And that's not a diagnosis. So history of how your brown spots have evolved or how they come about is very important. So let's say commonest cause of brown spots is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So something injured your skin and you were left with a dark mark. So the commonest we see is acne, as we were seeing on the screen. So normally people will have pimples, and then after the pimple has resolved, there's a brown spot. But people can have eczema, people can have a rash, and the rash will also leave a dark mark. So we call that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So you were clear, there was a trauma or something happened, and then you got these dark spots. And usually the dark spots will be where the injury was. So if you look at acne, for instance, the dark spots are usually outer face, somewhere on the jawline, somewhere on the temple. So location of your dark spot is also important for you to figure out which category it is. And then for women, it happens, you fall pregnant, you start a contraceptive pill, or you stop a contraceptive pill, or you go into menopause, or you're stressed. Something is just not right. Or you were exposed, you were lying on the beach without sunscreen, which you're not doing, and you got sunburned. You don't even remember when the sunburn happened, but you wake up one day and you start getting these brown spots. And usually those brown spots are now on the center of the face. Usually they'll start on the cheeks, sometimes above the lip, sometimes a little bit, but more central. And that's usually a hormonal type of hyperpigmentation, which we call melasma. So don't say to me, I have hormonal hyperpigmentation after this masterclass. I have melasma. Okay, so that usually central facial, concentrated after hormonal changes, contraception, stress, and incidence of a sunburn. The other thing which has come out recently, and we do it a lot, black people, we cook, but we cook in those big pots. or three-legged pots,
Yeah.
or galaza, those
December
things.
is coming. That's
And
where we're
December is
going.
coming,
Yeah.
and we're going home, and we're going to be cooking. But recently we actually found out as dermatologists that even heat, intense heat on the face, can actually trigger melasma, which is also a form of hormonal pigmentation. And then you get sunspots. If you are light-skinned, like if you're white, your sunspots are very distinct.
Yes.
They're like so nice and brown, and you can see them on your arms, on your chest, everywhere on the face. They're flat. But if you're black, they're not coming like that. They're just coming on the side here.
Yes.
And they're just coming here, and they come up the neck. That is photoaging. So we also get pigmentation just from accumulation of damage from light. So those are the top three commonest, but there's so many. You could take a tablet, and the tablet doesn't agree with you, and it gives you pigment. So pigment is an umbrella term, but underneath you need to figure out
What
where
goes where?
am I, because
Yes.
that helps you now decide how am I going to approach my pigment, and that also helps in terms of choosing a product with the right ingredient for your pigment.
So when you're speaking about photo aging, you're not talking about an actual photo.
No. Photo sun, UV
Right.
lights, ultraviolet lights.
Am I the only one who didn't know that? And that's why we're having this masterclass today. All right, I'm sure there's so many myths around,
Yeah.
particularly pigmentation, because it's not really well understood. It affects all of us, but there's varying degrees to the levels in which we understand it. So today we just want to bust a few myths. Can you tell me about a little bit of some myths that you have picked up in your practice around pigmentation?
So the biggest myth is this one, that hyperpigmentation is a diagnosis, but we now know that's wrong. Hyperpigmentation is just a descriptive term of when your skin is producing excess pigment. And underneath that umbrella, there's causes: post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, melasma, sunspots, drug-induced, all of that. So that's usually a myth. The other one is that people just think that it will disappear on its own. Maybe I just got a hormonal incident, maybe I just got sunburns, oh no, these marks are from acne, they're going to disappear.
Yeah.
And sometimes the deep pigments, like melasma, will actually persist. They will not disappear on their own. And then the other thing is the trends, like lemon juice, turmeric,
Yes,
what else?
all our TikTok skincare education representing itself, coming out.
The other one that I saw the other day was Handy Andy.
No.
Yeah, bicarbonate, Handy Andy, all of those
Actually,
things.
let's test that out. So, ingredient-wise, you guys have the yes or no cues on the table. Who has tried turmeric here to cure your hyperpigmentation? So many
Yes.
yeses. Wow.
No.
And why doesn't turmeric work? Because you guys all clearly thought it worked. Why shouldn't we try it?
It works.
Did it make you yellow for a little bit?
Yeah. And that's it. It literally stains you, and it's a food coloring. So it's things like that, turmeric, and it's hard because now we have to work against that, because those are beliefs that we grow up with, and then now we say thiamidol, turmeric. It's hard. So things like that, where people think it's safe, it's effective, because it's been, we've been socialized to think. So that's another thing. I'll just say home remedies will sort of cure or fix my hyperpigmentation. And obviously that's not true, because this is it's a process, and it's a pathological process. I don't want to use the word disease, but it is a condition, and there are steps to it, and those things will not necessarily fix it. The other thing is that, of course, the one that I was saying to dark skin, they don't get hyperpigmentation from the sun. So we think that because we've got melanin, it's a great thing that we have. We think that we do not get sunburns, but actually ultraviolet light, and visible light actually affects dark skin tones more, and they are the result of the pigment that we see, which is so deep in the skin, and it's directly related to, I don't want to say photo aging, sun aging. All right, so we do get burns. In fact, we get burns so much. I always say black skin will absorb the sun and bank it and keep it at the bottom and keep it for later. So sometimes you're not getting a tan, but you're going to get that pigmentation 3 weeks or a month later. So we do get burns. So that's the top 3 that I can think of.
All right, and I have an interesting question. Last week, so I'm hanging out with Dr. Khoza a lot because, you know, the places that Nivea is putting me in. And she was talking about something that is interesting and that I found was a key takeout, that we have so many objectives for our careers, for our family, for different aspects of our lives, but we hardly have objectives for our skin. Who can say, yes or no, has set objectives for their skin in the beginning of the year, for instance? I'm seeing a couple of no's, I'm seeing a couple of yes, but majority is no's. Why is it so important that we really set objectives for our own skin?
I think it's skincare, and I would say skin quality. For me, it's actually just that your skin is like an overall reflection of your health. I don't want to say it's the largest organ because they'll be like, oh, because she's a dermatologist, she's just promoting her organ. But it is really a reflection of your health. And obviously, it's going to show you where things are going wrong. Sometimes it's not necessarily linked to what's happening underneath, but it's the first sign. So we talk about immunity, low immune system, you'll see it in your skin. Dryness or dehydrated, you'll see it in your skin. Melasma, hormonal fluctuations, hypertension, diabetes, everything. So having an understanding of how your unique skin behaves is actually a lesson for you, because if you look at it and you understand it, it will give you tips of where your overall health status is sitting. So it's important. It's just that we spoiled as women, we can camouflage, we can put a wig, we can put makeup and get on, but it's those little silent whispers that says, things are not right. So I think it's very important for that.
Absolutely. So I hope that in the new year, as we wrap up the year, that we are able to write down some goals that we have for our skin and actively research, find out information, and use quality product like the Luminous range in order to better ourselves and to be a better reflection of what is inside as well. Now, I saw somebody with suitcases in the front. Which is quite smart, by the way, because there's lots of hampers on display today, and Nivea is making sure that everyone receives a hamper here today. And that, of course, is to thank you guys for being part of the conversation, for just being part of this really insightful talk by Dr. Khoza, and really getting to understand your skin, getting to understand that you need to set objectives around the organ that carries essentially who you are. Any last words, Dr. Khoza, before we wrap up?
I think the few things, just to recap what we spoke about, if you are, in terms of routine, 4 steps in the morning, 3 steps in the evening, and then in terms of your products. Secondly, when you're choosing products, you actually choose products based on your skin types. There's oily, dry, combination, sensitive, but most importantly, you choose products based on your skin concern. And I think today we're talking about pigmentation, so you need to know your ingredient. And the ingredient of today is, of course, thymidol. Yes. So thymidol, new ingredient that helps us target dark spots and brown spots in terms of reducing them, but excellent because it actually prevents new ones from coming. And also tolerable, very safe, very effective. But the nice thing about it as well, sits well, works well with other ingredients, and that's also very good. But also very safe well tolerated for even people with sensitive skin. So it's so important when you're choosing ingredients, choose ingredients that have been well researched, but also choose ingredients, as I said, for your skin type, but also see how the ingredients works with other products that you are using. And I think lastly, skin health, I think is the goal. Skin quality is the result.
Skin health is the goal, skin quality is the result. Thank you so much for joining us and enjoy
Yes,
the rest
yes.
I
of
just
your
wanna have fun,
day.
clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now.